Hey, welcome back everyone. It is now December 8th of 2020, and ever since the very end of the Skywalker saga, a lot of fans around the world have been very intrigued about the future of the Star Wars franchise by Disney, Lucasfilm, Bob Iger, Bob Chapek, you name it, and exactly what they have in store for the Star Wars fandom in the next couple of years and beyond. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, the thing about Disney Star Wars is that obviously we have seen a dramatic change, with The Mandalorian Season 2 really raising the bar here, really hitting a new level of Star Wars, right? We have seen what happened with Chapter 14 and Chapter 15. Now everybody is waiting for 16 and 17 to see exactly how this season really is going to wrap up and what it's going to tease for Season 3 in 2021. Now, given that Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are working very hard together on Seasons 3 and 4, they're going to actually be developing this back-to-back. They're already building sets as we speak, so progress is being made on the third season. However, what's really intriguing all has to do with Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, and George Lucas' outlook on the future of Star Wars and exactly what it's going to mean in this new Star Wars universe. So, one aspect of Star Wars that a lot of fans view as traditions are things like the opening crawl, the famous opening line, and everything ranging from the music by John Williams, right? Just to name a few. Now, with that being said, of course, with the Skywalker saga now over, both Disney and Lucasfilm are focused on their new Star Wars universe and trilogy of movies. Further, it's explained that currently both Jon Favreau and George Lucas have significantly changed their overall plans for the future of the franchise in order to reunite the Star Wars fandom further. One major plan is for creator Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni to add more context to the meaning of the opening of Star Wars movies and the general line "a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away." Further, it's said that Favreau will be adding in-depth meaning as to what that will really mean for the new Star Wars universe, as they are planning the stories of these wars and conflicts to be told from a character's perspective in the Star Wars universe. It's described that George Lucas is aiming to make these the Wills, who are actually stating a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, and that everything that is being told in the beginning of every movie, that famous line, being done by the Wills, who are godlike beings. This is a plan by Disney to evolve the basic meaning of it opening like a fairy tale and giving it more legitimate meaning to the opening line in the Star Wars movies that is more in line with the plots and nature of the franchise. Not just that, but also Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are working closely together to restart aspects of the Star Wars philosophy, and that this was all approved by George Lucas as well. They are planning to do this in a positive way for fans to enjoy, in that they are actually being very careful with handling the new philosophy of Star Wars and more. Now let's stop right there for a second. This is a very big change, a change that I think some fans may very well respect. Meanwhile, on the other hand, some fans may very well be skeptical about this, or a little on edge, if you will, on whether or not it's really necessary or if it's a bad move. I, however, think it's just an okay move. I think that given that they are trying to make the Wills like a literal thing, like the very thing about Star Wars, and kind of using that opening line as a sentence, if you will, being told by the Wills themselves a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, you could really interpret this multiple ways as of right now, but generally speaking, that's how most people view it. It's like a fairy tale opening, right? Like Once Upon a Time. That's kind of how pretty much a lot of the fans view it, and that's how a lot of creators of the Star Wars universe view it. So, George, John, and Dave, they actually want to dive into that while keeping that exact style of it opening like a fairy tale. They want to actually give it more depth to being connected to the actual story of Star Wars. Having the Wills telling the story of these actual situations from the originals, prequels, and sequels, and everything beyond and after. So, I think that's one thing that George at least is trying his absolute best to make the Wills a literal opening of every single Star Wars movie and Star Wars project. Now, the thing about that, the Wills are a very interesting angle of Star Wars. Now, there's a thing called the Journal of the Wills. We actually got a glimpse of it in the tree library on Arc 2. And though we didn't have Luke really necessarily open the book and read the lines as originally intended, but one of those books are indeed the Journal of the Wills. And what's great about that is that that most likely is the seed, if you will, of what Jon, Dave, and George are going to use to actually introduce the Wills into the full canon in a very direct sense. So, like I said before, I think that regardless, we're on the road to success here with Star Wars. On the side here, with them changing the philosophy of Star Wars and adding more into that and restarting a lot of that, I'm not necessarily too worried per se. I know that Kathleen Kennedy was trying to do that in a negative sense, but what George, Jon, and Dave are trying to do is trying to do that on a positive note. So I do have faith in them. So with that being said, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
From night to